Hi there, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Mike, and I'm excited to share another Divi tutorial with you. My goal here is to make learning Divi as straightforward as possible. Today we're going to have a look and see how to create sticky section titles with Divi. So in a previous video that I did, I showed you one way that you could have different section titles where it's stuck to the bottom, and I'll link to that video somewhere here in the top. But this one I find is even a little bit more exciting, if I can put it that way. You'll see what I mean. Let's scroll down and see how this effect takes place. So this is the title of the section that we have. But now watch as we scroll down here. It goes down with, okay, that's okay. It moves to the side and it gives a bit of a shadow effect. But now watch as we go through the content. It sort of mixes with the background content and it continues going down until the section finishes. We reach to the next section. That one kicks in. And it does the same effect as it goes down. So if this is something that excites you, hit that like button and let's jump right into it. Okay, so let's just scroll back to the top quickly so that we can see what we need to do. And then let's go and add in a new page. So add a page. That one's called Sticky Section Titles. So let's call this one There we go. All right, and let's use the Divi builder. Okay, as soon as that opens up, as usual, we just hit the build from scratch. And we don't want to do anything yet. Let's go jump into the section settings. So in the section settings, we just want to give it a bit of spacing. So about 200 top and bottom should be good. All right, once that is done, just save that and let's add a row. So for the first row, we want to add in the title. So just hit a single column and we close that off so we can go into the settings of the row. Right, so design, sizing, we want to make sure it's custom gutter width and we want to bring that down to 1. We're going to go across. Width, we want to make 100% and maximum width, let's just make it 100% as well. Okay, so that sets up our row for us. We hit save and let's go add in a text module. So the text module is what we saw in the previous one. That'll be the about over here. So I'm just going to do exactly the same. Just put in the about and I want to make this an H2. And then we can jump in and go change the settings. All right, so heading H2. And I want to make that a Playfair display. And I want to make it semi-bold. I want to push it to the center. I want to make it black. And then we want to play with the text size. So again, with the sizes, we want to make sure that it's responsive. So it's always going to look good on each device that we look on. So let's just click the responsive button here, or the mobile, or I'm not sure how you want to call it, but I just call it responsive. All right, and then for desktop, we want to come in here. We don't want to put pixels because pixels is a very fixed amount. So instead what we want to do is we want to tell the screen that whatever screen you're viewing this on, we want it to be X amount of size. So we're going to do that in this instance using the VW. All right, so VW is the viewer's width. So it's going to take up 20 of the viewer's width. All right, and then for tablet and phone, we want to push that up to 28. Okay, so it takes up a decent amount of spacing there. Okay, once that's done, we just hit save and we can go add in another row. So for the second row, we want to do it for columns. So let's take this one over here. And we again want to go and change the settings of this row. So again, sizing, we want to use custom gutter width and we want to bring it down to 1. For width, we want to take it to 100%. And for maximum width, we also want 100%. Okay, once that's done, let's go to column 2. And add in some text. All right, I'm just going to leave the text as it is, and I'm going to go and style it. So I want to make this my favorite cum sans. And I also want to make this black. And for text size, again, we want to make it different for each one. So for desktop, we want to make it 2 VW. And then for tablet, look how cool this is, how Divi picks up that it's VW. I just go up to, and it picks everything up. So I don't need to go and put VW or pixels or anything like that again. Only if I want to change my measurement, then I would need to put in the new measurement. But if it's the same as the one before, then it will just stay the same. Okay, and for phone, I also want to push that up one more time. Okay, then for letter spacing, oh, let's just go back to desktop because I want this to apply to all of them. I want to make this minus 0.1. Okay, so I just want to pull the text closer so that it's not so much spacing between them. But then I also want to push the line height. Okay, so 1.6 should do okay. All right, once that is done, let's go and change some sizing. So sizing, we want to bring the maximum or the width down to 70% on desktop. But on tablet and phone, we want to push that up to 90%. Okay. And then when we go back to desktop, we just want to make the module alignment center. Centralize the module alignment. Okay. Once that's done, that's that done. So the next thing we need to add would be the image. Okay, let's go grab the image. So add a new module. We want to add the image module. And we want to look for the red one. There we go. Upload the image. And we want to make sure for image that we push sizing, force full width, just to make sure that it fills up the entire column. All right, once that is done, let's go down and some spacing. Okay, top margin. Just put in 100 just to give that space over here. And that is all we need to do there. So then we go next, and the next thing we would need to add would be the button. Okay, so we come down to the bottom and we say add button. Once the button is added, we just put in over here, what was the get to know us. Okay, so get to know us, and let's go and do some styling to the button. We want to use custom styles, and then we want to do button size. Again, we want to jump into the responsiveness, and for desktop we want to do 1.5 VW. Then for tablet we want to push this up to 2.5. And for phone, we want to push this up to 3.5. Okay, then button text color, let's make that white. And our background, we want to make red. The color I had was F6223E. Okay, our border width, we want to make 0, and our border radius, we want to make 0. So we want to make sure it's nice and square, and it sits right onto the image. All right, let's change the font. So I want to keep the font the same. So it's also cum sans. Show icon, I want to keep that, and I want to use this one. But I want to put on the left. And I don't only want to show it when you hover, but I want it to be there all the time. Okay, once that is done, let's jump into some spacing. All right, so top and bottom, let's go for some 3%. All right, and that is on there, but on we want that over here. Okay, then on tablet we want 3%, and on phone we want to push that up to 5%. Okay, and then let's go back to desktop and we look at left and right. So 5 VW. Okay, so it's 5 VW, but on tablet, I want to push that up to 8. And on phone, let's push that up to 12. Okay, done. Save that. Okay, it's looking pretty good. What comes next? Ah, the text. Okay. What comes next? The text. All right. Text. And all I did is I just took like this. All right. And then just highlight it all and make it an ordered list. Okay, once I've done and made an ordered list, let's go change the text in the back. This one, we want to make sans. I'm going to make it black. Then text size 2 VW and 4 and 5. Okay. Text line spacing, let's make that -0.1. All right, and let's give it some line height, 1.6. Okay. Then we jump onto the ordered list. Give it the color. FF2340. Okay, then let's give it a line height, 1.6. Let's make the list style Roman, and we put the position outside. Okay, now what we do is we just go back to our content, because we don't want everything to be red here. So we go to our content, and each one individually we just make black. And the last one, black. Okay. And that is that over there. So let's jump back into design, go hit sizing, maximum width. Let's make this the same as the one above it. So 70%. And on phone and tablet, we make it 90%. Right, and remember to center it. All right, close sizing. Let's jump into spacing. So the top margin, let's push it down a little bit. So just call it 50 pixels. And then we give it a bit of left and right padding. We make it 5% on either side. Okay, once that's done, I think we've done everything that we need to do content-wise. Yes. All right, so what we can do now is we can start having fun with the sticky options. All right, so let's jump into our first row over here, and we go and scroll effects, stick to top. All right, we want to make sure we keep that within the section, and then we want yes and yes. The other thing we want to do here is we want to go to position, and Z index we want to make it a 1. So we want to keep it quite low because it's going to be in the background, but it's going to be above the rest of the content. Okay, now what we need to do is, because this is going to be there, we need that blending effect to happen with regards to when we scroll down. Because at the moment, you see what's happening? It doesn't look good, right? All right, so what we need to do is we need to jump into this second row and then into the second column. Then in the second column, we go design, we go filters, and at the bottom here, we just make it multiply. All right. So once that's done, we scroll down. Okay, it's looking a little bit better. All right, now let's go and jump back into our H2 settings. So we want it to be looking like this, but then we want to change it that when we start scrolling, it becomes the shadowy effect, right? So let's go to font color and we go to sticky. We make the font color white. All right. When that is white, the next thing we want to do is we want to give it a text shadow. So we want this text shadow. And then what we want to see is the color of the shadow. Want to make sure it is here 8. So it's nice and pronounced. Okay, desktop over here. We don't want any. Oops. All right. But for this one, we do want. Okay. So that's looking good. Scroll down. And let's give it some change of position. So when we are in sticky mode, we want to be minus 35%. So push it to the side. We want to make sure that this is a bit smooth. So we go transitions and we push this up to about 800. And then that should be it. Yeah. Okay, so let's save that. And then let's just duplicate this section. So if I go down, it's the other section. Okay, let's just change this to the contact. And we change the image to the purple one. And then that should be it. What we can also do maybe is we can change this button color. For the background color, let's make it purple so that it's sort of in line there. And then content, let's call it Get in Touch. All right, I think that should be it. Let's save this and see what we got. What's our end result? Exit. There we have. All right, so hold fingers. Let's scroll down. Okay, that's just because my mouse position. Move my mouse down. There we go. And it's still scrolling nicely. And the next one, there it is. It's all working as we wanted it to. So this is quite a neat effect that you can use. Like maybe you want to explain certain elements and you like this is the section title of what's ever been explained. And you want it just to be there while the person is reading, so as they're scrolling down and going through the different content. So that's how you can quite easily create section titles with sticky elements so that you can make your site look different to other sites. I hope this tutorial will be useful for you. It's a bit long-winded, but if it's been useful, do hit that like button and let me know. I'm planning to post more Divi tutorials as I learn more about Divi, so please do hit that subscribe button to ensure that you will not lose out. Your feedback is valuable, so do leave a comment below with any questions or suggestions for future videos. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.